back to my channel, Life from Mars. I am so excited to have you all here today. This is going to be a super fun, super interesting video because today I am going to be teaching you all how to read and interpret auras. Yes, so most of us have probably at least heard of the aura in passing. We're probably maybe kind of familiar with it, right? We know that it supposedly surrounds our bodies and has some sort of color. But let me just give you a couple of more details about the basics of the human aura. Now, I will say that I actually did make a longer video about this for another channel I work with called Unity Consciousness Club. So I'll link that above if you guys do want to watch it. I go into a lot more detail in that video than I'm going to go into right now. But this is just to give you kind of a basic summary of what I did talk about in that video and just some things that you can keep in mind to understand what the aura even is and really what it is you're supposed to be interpreting and looking for in the first place. So the human aura is an energy field that surrounds the human body. It is said to have 7 layers that correspond with the 7 chakras. So there's 7 different energy centers that correspond to different energetic and physical parts of the body. So depending on the health and balance of each individual chakra, you are going to have a different display of color, intensity, etc. in the aura of that corresponding chakra. So essentially the way it looks is like it's coming out of the person, right? It's sort of like an onion. The closest layer corresponds to the root chakra, so that's the one at the base of your spine, and it goes all the way up to the crown chakra, which would be the one that's farthest apart from your body. Basically, that means that when we think about an aura, we're not just thinking about just a single color just kind of surrounding our whole body. We're actually referring to 7 different layers, all of which have different colors, different intensity levels. In fact, what you find around your head may be different than what you find around the bottom of your body, for example. Every single person has a different aura, and your aura can also just change throughout the day depending on the circumstance you're in and the mood that you're in. All of these things can play an impact, so keep in mind that even if you were to know exactly what your aura looked like in the morning, it may not look like that at night. That being said, as we go into discussing how to actually read auras, keep in mind that it is a really personal thing. It's very important that if you do get good at seeing auras, you're going to see them without even trying. That is what people report. And so you want to keep in mind that just because you might see someone has a particular aura, you don't want to be judging that person by that. You don't want to call them out on that or anything like that. And I mean, it pretty much energetically represents that entire person, their physical being, and all of their emotions and spirituality. So it's a very, very personal thing. Although we are going to be talking about reading auras and interpreting their colors and those meanings, it's important to keep in mind that we're really not trying to judge anyone for what their aura looks like. That being said, there are also ways to heal and cleanse your aura if you feel like you need some sort of reset or you need some healing going on in maybe a particular layer. You can definitely do that as well, and I think I may make a second video about that after this one. Now, before I get into how to read auras, I just want to say that if you are not already subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button. It means so much to me. I love making these videos for you all, and yeah, I mean, my content's pretty good. I'm not biased or anything, but I think it's all right. So yeah, continuing with the regularly scheduled programming. So let's talk about seeing the human aura. So the aura is said to be most easily seen around the head. This is why so many mystics and angels and saints and all of these people depicted in these very spiritual settings, they all have that halo around their head, right? That is a direct representation of the aura. Also, keep in mind that although you may not be just seeing people's auras right now, most people can very easily pick up on someone else's aura or just their general energy at the moment, right? Have you ever had a situation where you walk into the room and without even talking to the person, just by feeling the energy, you can tell that something is off? Or maybe the complete opposite, right? You can tell that something amazing is happening. You can tell that something exciting is going on just by feeling the energy in a room. That is caused by auras, by human magnetic fields. And also, just so you all know, this is a very scientific thing and can be measured in a scientific way. There are actually machines that also allow you to see the aura. So keep that in mind, but we are not going to go into that right now. So when you are first trying to start to begin to see auras, it's actually very beneficial to try to feel auras first. For most people, this actually may be much easier, especially at first, compared to actually trying to see someone's aura. You are actually doing this on yourself. So this is going to give you some insight on what your aura could possibly look like. And this ability to actually feel this energy even relates to an actual psychic ability. It is called clairsentience, and it refers to the ability to feel things that are beyond the physical realm. As far as where you are going to be feeling it, the hands are said to be the easiest way to feel subtle energies. So to do this exercise, we're basically just going to need a quiet room with a white wall. Just make sure that you have some alone time so you can really get into the zone, almost kind of get into a meditative state as you're trying to do this, because the more that you kind of let go of any distractions, the more likely that you are to have a real legitimate experience and actually feel something with this.
Alright, so to start this exercise where we are going to try to feel our aura through our hands, you're going to want to start by sitting in a comfortable position in a chair that is ideally supporting your back, and you also want to have your feet completely planted on the floor. After you get in this position, close your eyes and start connecting to your breath. Feel your breath as it enters your body, as it moves through your body, and as it leaves your body. Just focus on your breath and let yourself relax for a little while. After this, with your eyes still closed, begin to rub the palms of your hands together briskly together. You're going to do this for about 20 to 30 seconds. After this, extend your hands in front of you with your elbows slightly bent and your palms facing each other about a foot apart. Now very slowly, start to move your hands closer together without ever touching them to each other. Then, slowly move your hands apart again. Do this slowly over and over and pay attention to what you are sensing and feeling in the space between your hands. Repeat this process again and again, slowly drawing your hands closer together and slowly drawing them apart. If you begin to feel distracted at all, connect to your breath again. Notice any sensations that you feel, any images or thoughts that come to your mind. What are you noticing in the space between your hands? Does this sensation change when you change the distance of your palms? Pay attention to everything that you feel and take note of what you are sensing and picturing in your mind, because this will more than likely be giving you valuable information about your current energetic state and what your aura could look like.
So that is one way that you can try to perceive your own aura. But obviously, I'm sure you are also curious on how you can try to actually see auras. So again, when you are first starting to do this, it is easiest first to try to see your own aura. As you begin to do this, more than likely you're only going to be able to see the lower levels of the aura first, so the ones that are closest to the body. But with more practice, you should be able to see more of the outer levels as well. So if you are only seeing just one color around yourself or someone else as you begin to try to do this, do not stress, do not freak out. As you continue to practice, you will be able to see the higher auric levels as well. This is definitely something that practice makes perfect. You should know, I guess, generally where your kind of spiritual / psychic energetic abilities are at already. Obviously, some people may have more difficulty with this than others, but do not judge yourself, because it does not matter who you are. You can do this as long as you do continue to practice. So to do this initial activity to try to see your own aura, again, you are going to need a quiet space, preferably some time that you can just be by yourself so you're not distracted by anyone else and you can really just try to concentrate on this, and a room with a white wall with the light just preferably a little bit low.
So after you have found your area where you're going to do this little activity, you are going to want to get a chair and face the white wall. So ideally, this chair will be supporting your back. I know mine is not in this video. This is just kind of to show everyone, but ideally you do want your back to be supported and your feet should also be on the ground. So once you have gotten into a comfortable place, you're just going to want to take however much time you want, a couple minutes, to just focus on your breath, take some deep breaths, and just sort of start to relax. After you feel sufficiently relaxed, you are going to extend your palm out to the wall, so palm facing the wall. And at first, you're going to have your fingers together. So just for a moment, again, just continue your breath and just stare at your hand. just soften your gaze and really just keep your gaze fixed on your hand. So you're gonna want to hold this gaze of your hand for about 30 seconds or so. Again, just really trying to pick up on anything that you see surrounding your hand against the wall. And after about 30 seconds, you can slowly start to spread apart your fingers. And again, continuing to pay attention to what you're seeing. Eventually, after continuing this gaze, you should start to see an energy field around your hand pretty quickly. And at first, this may kind of appear colorless, almost like a heat wave, but if you continue paying attention and don't lose your concentration, you will eventually start to see the colors of your aura. So again, this is definitely not something to stress over. If you don't see colors the first time you try this, it's totally fine. There's absolutely no pressure. If you do continue to practice this, it's only going to get easier and you're only going to feel more comfortable and be more successful every single time. So don't stress yourself out about this. Just really, really relax. And if you continue to practice, you will definitely start to see your aura. So I also wanted to give you all an exercise which you can try to see someone else's aura. So for this exercise, obviously you are going to need a partner. I would say it's best to probably pick somebody that you're already pretty comfortable with. That way you all can really concentrate and actually really try to see something, and you don't just get distracted or embarrassed or anything like that. So ideally the other person should also be up for it. You are going to have your partner stand against, again, a white wall. So you're going to stand a good distance away from them so that you can see their entire body. And as they're standing there, you are going to stare at the center of their forehead. Remember when I mentioned that it's easiest to see the aura around the head? Well, that's exactly why we're doing this. And it's exactly the same as the hand exercise in that you're just going to kind of create a soft gaze around the center of the forehead. Just allow yourself to keep staring and just stay concentrated on this area. And again, just like your hand, you'll eventually start to see energy around the person. And eventually, it's not just going to look like an invisible heat wave, but again, you'll be able to see the actual aura. So again, like the other exercises, don't stress yourself out with this. There's really nothing specific you're trying to achieve, but the more you practice, the more you are going to be able to see different colors. And if you do this with multiple people, you can even validate if you are seeing the same colors. So this is a really fun way to start to get into seeing other people's auras as well.
So now that we understand how we can see auras, it is important to understand that seeing auras is actually the easy part. Yeah, believe it or not, I know it seems like it's kind of hard, but that part is actually way more just to the point and very clear in instruction compared to actually trying to interpret the colors or what you're actually seeing in the aura. So for best results, when you are trying to read someone's aura, it's very important to kind of remove any judgment, remove any bias, and remove the ego itself, right? Stop trying to come from your own point of view. Instead, really try to maintain an unbiased or sort of higher consciousness mentality when you are doing this. Act like you are just a source of the consciousness rather than you yourself with your name and all of your preferences and your moral compass and your beliefs, etc. Remember that we are all connected and that at the end of the day, there is no I, there is no you. There is only us, right? We all benefit from the people around us having healed and strong auras. So again, we are never trying to judge anyone, and we do not want to make some sort of separation like, oh, well, I see your aura, I know who you are now. Also, this is very important. Keep in mind that you are reading their aura through your own aura. For example, maybe your aura is red, their aura is blue, so you might see it as purple because you are looking through your aura. So again, it's very important to try to come from a very, very unbiased state so you can try to kind of avoid those type of discrepancies. And finally, again, remember that aura colors do reflect what the person is feeling in the moment. So these can change multiple times a day. Again, that is why it's so important not to ever judge anyone when you are doing this. It should be something that is truly only out of positive intent or for fun, educational, or spiritual purposes. So that being said, let's talk about what the different auric colors actually mean. First of all, it's actually not just about the color. Actually, the color, hues, and intensity all represent different things. All of these things will provide information about the physical, mental, and spiritual well-being of the person. Now let's go through all of the colors, discuss what each of them can signify for a person, and also discuss the various hues, sharpness, and intensities and what those mean as well. So let's start off with the green aura. A green aura indicates growing compassion. It can also indicate love and a growing desire to be of service and to help others. Green is also a color of balance and harmony. It can reflect personal growth, openness of the heart, and willingness to change and transform. However, muddier shades of green can represent greed, possessiveness, or fear of being loved. Next, we are going to talk about the blue aura. Blue colors are actually one of the easiest to see in the aura. So if you are trying to read someone and they have blue in their aura, it is very likely that you might pick up on this first. Blue indicates peace, tranquility, calmness, quiet, and seriousness. A person with a lot of blue in their aura probably has a very strong sense of self. They have a very strong sense of purpose and are very in tune with their inner guidance. These people also tend to be a little bit more sensitive. Some shades of blue can also represent loneliness and also a journey of coming back to the self. Darker shades of blue are a sign of a high level of spiritual connectedness. These people are often very much involved in spiritual life, have a very strong sense of intuition. They probably have very creative imaginations, and some of these people may even have psychic abilities, such as minor or advanced telepathy. Next, let's talk about purple auras. I've always said that I think that my aura is purple. The few times that I have tried to look, I've always seen purple colors, so I feel like I always kind of tend to connect to this one. A purple aura indicates that a person is in the process or has integrated the physical and spiritual plane. It also indicates a blending of the heart and the mind, and these people also more than likely have a sense of leadership. Purple also indicates intuition, high imagination, visualization, and connection to the world of dreams. If someone has a lot of purple in their aura, they are more likely to be able to lucid dream, astral project, and more easily develop other psychic abilities. So let's discuss the gold or golden aura. Gold is very often seen around the head, again connecting to this idea of this sort of golden halo. A golden aura indicates that a person is in the process of higher spiritual development or coming into their true purpose and essence. This coming to terms with themselves more than likely has extended beyond their ego. Gold in the aura also means that you are connected to the higher power, to source energy, to God, whatever you want to call it. And it can also mean that you are very inspired or devoted by this fact. Gold is said to be the color of a higher mind and a deeper understanding of the universe. So let's move on to pink in the aura. Pink indicates a softness and also a yielding to others. So this may symbolize that you are a very caring or nurturing person. It is the color of compassion, tenderness, and a gentle love. So perhaps if you are analyzing the aura of a mother with her child, you may see a lot of pink in her aura. However, muddier shades of pink can also represent emotional imbalances. So keep that in mind as well. Next, let's talk about yellow auras. And just like blue, yellow is actually one of the easier colors to see in the aura. So again, if you are seeing a lot of yellow and blue in someone's aura, it makes sense. This is probably what you're going to be able to see best at first. So again, don't get discouraged. If you're only able to make out these colors at first, it will get easier the more you practice, and you will be able to see all of the colors that you could possibly want if you just don't quit. So yellow is the color of sunshine. It is the color of happiness and optimism. So if someone has a lot of yellow in their aura, they are probably a very positive, happy person, or they are simply happy and positive in that moment. Yellow surrounding the head and hairline can represent growing spiritual abilities, increasing wisdom, new ideas, high intellect, and mental clarity. Muddier shades of yellow can indicate that someone is too critical. They may overanalyze things or people, and they are often prone to excessive overthinking. Next up is the red aura. So red is associated with the base chakra and is therefore associated with our basic, most primal urges. Red in the aura signifies a connection with the earth and also an enthusiasm and deep connection with the physical existence on this earth. These people tend to have a very high vital energy. They have this sort of zest for life, very fiery type of energy. These people are also often very ambitious and have a desire to succeed in this world. However, as I'm sure it does not surprise you, muddier or duller shades of red can indicate anger problems. It can also represent passive aggressiveness or someone who uses anger as a protection mechanism. Next, let's talk about orange auras. Orange is associated with ambition, creativity, and sexual energy. Orange is a very passionate color, so it represents that someone has a lot of passion in whichever way that is being directed. People with a lot of orange tend to be very, very emotionally expressive. That being said, if you are seeing a muddier or more dull shade of orange, it can also mean that somebody has issues with pride, arrogance, or vanity. There are two aura colors left, and those are black and gray. So to start with the black aura. So this may seem a little bit intense or maybe just automatically negative if you see someone with a black aura, but it is not automatically a negative thing. A black aura can be negative, but it can also just be a sign of deep peacefulness. It can also be a sign of death and rebirth. So someone could be going through a major change in their life. However, on the negative side of things, a black aura can also indicate an emotional imbalance. Now finally, let's talk about the gray aura. On the positive side, the gray aura can indicate that somebody is having a spiritual awakening and that they are opening up to their true abilities. This could come in the form of increased intuition, increased imagination, maybe increased creative abilities, or various other different forms. On the negative side, gray can also indicate blockages in certain parts of the body, especially if it is a muddier shade and it is seen closer to the actual body. So there you have it, guys. Those are all of the aura colors and their basic meanings. Again, I am not claiming to just be like a one-stop shop. There is so much more to learn about this topic, and I do highly recommend that if you are interested in it, if you're going to try to be reading people's auras, do look more into it. This is a basic synopsis of what these colors can indicate, but like I said, there are so many complex things to keep in mind. People dedicate their entire lives to studying these things, and it is something that is very ancient. There's a lot of wisdom around it. So keep in mind that I am not giving you the entire picture of information. I am just kind of giving you a basic synopsis to get you in a good place as a beginner as you begin to try to see and read auras. I really hope you all enjoyed this video. If you do try out any of these methods, let me know how it went for you. What did you guys feel when you tried that exercise? What did you feel your aura color was? Did that change when you tried to actually see your own aura? Also, I want to try an experiment. Maybe you guys can try this too. Try this out when you're feeling in different ways, right? So don't just always do this when you're like in a neutral mood or in a happy mood. Maybe try it at the beginning of the day and then at the end of the day and see what the differences are from there. I would love to hear what you guys' experiences are, so please leave them down below. I would absolutely love to hear them. And if you guys did like this video, please give it a big like. I so appreciate it. It means that you guys do enjoy this video and that I should continue making more like this. Like I said, I do think I want to do a video about how to cleanse and reset and heal your aura. So that video will also probably be coming soon. If you are not already subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button. It means so much to me. I so appreciate it. I have all sorts of content coming out all the time about all sorts of interesting topics. You better believe I have even more good stuff coming, so you guys are not even ready. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope you have a lot of luck in beginning to try to see your aura. Like I said, who knows? Maybe you are naturally meant to do this and it's going to be super easy for you, but you will never know until you try. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!